There is a kind of loneliness that has nothing to do with being alone. You can be in a room full of people who love you and still feel like not one of them can truly reach you. You smile. You show up. You say, "I'm good." And a quiet part of you stays in the corner, watching it all from behind glass. You come home from a good night with good people, and instead of feeling full, you feel a strange, heavy emptiness you can't explain. And here is the cruelest part. You feel guilty for feeling it, because they love you. So what right do you have to feel alone? I want you to stay with me, because that feeling is not ingratitude, and it is not a flaw in you. It is a wound that learned, a long time ago, to call itself independence. This is Blissful Journey, and today we are going to name the thing you have never had words for, and slowly, gently, I am going to show you why love keeps reaching you and somehow never quite lands. Let me say the heart of it first, as plainly as I can. There is a difference between being loved and being known. And you have spent your whole life being loved, while quietly starving to be known. People can adore you, depend on you, celebrate you, and still have no idea who actually lives inside you. Because the person they love is the version you let them see. The easy one, the steady one, the one who is always fine. And every time their love lands on that version, it misses you completely. It is like standing out in the rain, behind glass. You can see the water, you can watch it fall, but you stay dry, and you cannot understand why you are still so thirsty. So how did you get here? Because you were not born afraid of being seen. A small child shows you everything, every feeling the second they feel it. Joy, fear, anger, need. Right on the surface, with no shame at all. That was you once. And then, somewhere along the way, you learned that the real you was too much, or not enough, or simply not welcome. Maybe you opened up once, and someone laughed, or brushed it aside, or used it against you later. Maybe you cried, and were told to stop, or maybe no one was ever cruel at all. Maybe you grew up in a house where people were present, but not attuned. They fed you. They kept you safe. They loved you in the ways they knew how. But no one ever really asked what was happening inside you. No one sat with you long enough for the second, truer answer to come out. So you learned, without anyone ever meaning to teach you, that your inner world was yours to carry alone. You became the easy child, the one who did not need much, the one who never wanted to be a burden. And being easy earned you approval. But it never once earned you closeness. I want to say something to the child you used to be. Wanting to be seen was never too much to ask. Every child deserves at least one person who looks closely enough to actually find them. If no one did, that was never a verdict on how lovable you were. It only meant the people around you were too overwhelmed, too distracted, or too wounded themselves to look. The problem was never you being too much. It was them not having enough room. So you learned the rule that still runs your life today. Show them the parts that are easy to love. Keep the rest somewhere they cannot reach. And it worked. People liked that version. People loved that version. But here is the trap you could not see. The more they loved the version, the more alone the real you became. Because love that lands on a mask never reaches the face beneath it. And you do not wear just one mask. You have a whole collection, and you change them without thinking. There is the helper who turns every conversation toward other people's problems, so no one ever turns it toward yours. There is the funny one who keeps everything light, because light means no one digs any deeper. There is the strong one who never lets anyone see a crack, because long ago you decided your job was to hold, not to be held. And there is the agreeable one who keeps the peace and slowly disappears until even you forget what you actually think. Each mask earns you a kind of love, and each mask quietly makes sure that love can never reach you. If any of this is landing right now, I want you to do one small thing for me. Leave a single word in the comments. Just write, "Seen." Because you are about to realize you are not the only one who has felt completely alone in a room full of love. Now let me show you how this lives in the people closest to you. You might have a partner who knows your coffee order, your schedule, your habits, but not your fears. They know what makes you laugh, but not what keeps you awake at 3 in the morning. They love you, and you still lie beside them some nights feeling strangely far away. You have friends who call you first when they are falling apart. You ask the deep questions. You remember the details. You hold their pain so gently. And then you hang up and realize no one asked about yours. Because, without ever saying it, you trained them not to. And there is a particular ache here that I need to name. It is the moment someone who loves you gets you completely wrong. They describe who you are with total confidence, and it is a stranger they are describing. They think you are fine, because you made sure they would. They think you are strong, because you never let them see otherwise. They think you do not need much, because you taught them not to look. And you cannot even be angry, because you built this. You handed them the map to the wrong room. So you smile, and you agree, and something quietly closes inside you. Being misunderstood by a stranger means nothing. But being misunderstood by someone who loves you, while they are certain they see you clearly, is one of the loneliest feelings a person can carry. And here is the part that keeps the whole thing locked in place. Even when someone reaches for you, you make it hard. Someone asks how you really are, and you say, "I'm fine," before you have even checked. Someone offers to be there, and you reassure them you do not need anything. Someone gets close to the real you, and some old instinct quietly shuts the door. Because being unseen is lonely. But being seen feels dangerous. So you stay just close enough to be loved, and just far enough to stay safe. And then you ache at the very distance you are keeping. Underneath all of it is one fear you have never said out loud. If they saw the whole of me, they would change their mind. Somewhere deep down, you believe your full self is too heavy, too needy, too complicated, too much, so you hand people a lighter version, and you call it kindness. But what you are really doing is protecting yourself from a rejection that has not even happened. You reject yourself first, quietly, every single day, so that no one else gets the chance to. And every time you hide a real feeling to keep someone else comfortable, you quietly confirm the very belief that is hurting you, that you are only lovable in pieces, that the whole of you would be too much for anyone to hold. It is not true. But you have never tested it, because the test has always felt far too dangerous to run. I want you to slow down and hear this next part, because it matters. Nothing is wrong with you. You are not cold. You are not ungrateful. You are not impossible to love. Because loneliness when you are truly alone makes sense. There is no one there. Of course you feel it, but loneliness in the middle of love is confusing. You feel the gap, and your mind insists you have no reason to. So you do not just feel alone. You feel broken for feeling alone. And that second layer, the shame stacked on top of the ache, is the part that has kept you silent for years. You are simply being loved through a wall you built a long time ago, for very good reasons. And love cannot reach through walls, no matter how strong it is, no matter how hard the person tries. So the problem was never whether you are loved. The problem is that you have never let yourself be known. And being known is what the human heart is actually starving for. We do not only want to be adored. We want to be understood. We want someone to see the real, unedited, complicated truth of us and choose to stay anyway. That is the moment the loneliness ends. Not when someone loves the mask, but when someone meets the face and does not look away. Read that again. Not loved. Met. There is a whole world of difference between those two words, and your entire life has been lived in the gap between them. So let us talk about how you begin. Slowly. Carefully. The way trust is actually built. First, understand what you are really protecting. That wall did not go up to keep love out. It went up to keep you safe. so you cannot tear it down by force. You let it down, one small brick at a time, with people who have earned it. Second, tell one true thing. Not your whole story, not your deepest wound. Just one honest sentence, where you would normally say, "I'm fine. Actually, I have been struggling a bit lately." That meant more to me than I let on. I don't want to talk, but I don't want to be alone right now either. Small truths, said out loud, to people who are safe. Each one is a single brick removed. The first time, your heart will pound. You will say the true thing and instantly want to take it back. You will watch their face like your safety depends on it. Because once it did. That fear is old. It belongs to a younger you, in a different room, with different people. Say the true thing anyway. Not because it is easy, but because the silence has already cost you enough. Third, when someone reaches for you, do not close the door. Notice the flinch, feel the urge to deflect, and then, just once, stay. Let the question land. Let them see something real. Let the moment be a little uncomfortable. Because that discomfort is not danger. It is a wound that has never been touched gently before. Let it be touched gently now. Fourth, learn to receive comfort without managing it. When you finally let someone in, and they reach to comfort you, watch what you do. You will reassure them. You will downplay it. You will say, "I'm okay, really, just this once." Do not. Let yourself be the one who is held, instead of the one who is holding. It will feel almost unbearable. Let it be unbearable, and stay anyway. And here is something you may have never considered. The people who love you can probably feel the wall too. They feel you holding back. They feel the part of you that never quite arrives. And many of them are standing on the other side of it, loving a version of you, quietly hoping to one day meet the rest. You have spent so long believing you were holding back to protect them. But from where they are standing, it can feel like a door they are not allowed through. They do not experience your wall as strength. They experience it as distance. And the ones who truly love you would far rather have the real, struggling, unfinished you than the polished stranger you keep handing them. Let me tell you what it feels like the first time someone truly sees you and stays. You say the real thing, the one you were sure would make them pull away. And they do not move. They do not flinch or fix it or change the subject. They just look at you, with the whole truth of you finally in the room, and something in their face softens. And they say, in one way or another, "I am still here." And something in your chest, something that has been clenched for as long as you can remember, finally lets go. Because a part of you that has been alone for years, suddenly is not anymore. That is what you have been missing. Not more love. Not more people. Just one moment of being fully seen and not left. So if you have spent your life feeling alone in rooms full of love, hear me clearly. You are not broken, and you are not ungrateful. You are someone who learned, far too early, that it was safer to be loved from a distance than to be known up close. That lesson kept you safe, but it also kept you lonely. You are allowed to outgrow it now. You are allowed to be a little too much and stay. You are allowed to be seen and stay. You are allowed to let someone all the way in and trust that they will not leave when they get there. The version of you that you have been hiding, the real one, the one you were sure was too much, that is the part most worth loving. And it has been waiting your whole life to finally be met. It will not happen all at once. You will lower the wall, panic, and want to build it back. That is okay. Healing is never a straight line. It is one true sentence at a time, with one safe person at a time, until being known stops feeling like a threat and starts to feel like home. If this reached you tonight, leave that word in the comments. Just seen. And if there is someone in your life who is always the strong one, always fine, but you have never quite been let in, send this to them. Maybe tonight you finally ask them the second question, the one that goes past, "How are you?" to, "No, really, how are you?" And then stay quiet long enough for the true answer to come. You do not have to stay behind the glass. The love is already here. You just have to let it reach you. This is Blissful Journey,